What up? What up? What up? It's the Sports Mix in the building. Got my man with me, Killer Rob. What's up, brother?
What's up, man? What's up? What's up?
Oh man, oh man.
You on
Back,
Facebook too?
back in the building. Facebook, YouTube, in the Sports Mix group. Should be
Okay.
live. You
Okay.
know. Yep. So we in here, maybe having a couple more guys joining us before we done. So just wanted to get things going. So what's going on, man? How you making out?
I'm all right, man. Got
Everything
a lot of big things in the sports world going on.
for sure, for sure. Got my Erica Haywood, my cousin. Hey, what's up, cuz? What's going on?
All
Yeah.
right.
So first off, first off, last week, October the 23rd was the 1 year anniversary of the sports mix.
Yes, sir.
Thanks to yourself, my brother CB. Y'all helped me kick this thing off 1 year ago. You know what I'm saying? Been kind of been pushing for a year, just trying to grow the program a little bit, talk sports, talk trash, having some fun with it. So appreciate you. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you, man. Big inspiration. You're doing your thing as well. So, much respect, man. Appreciate everything.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see where we go, for this year. How we take the show to the next level, 2022, 2023.
Mm-hmm.
So, definitely wanted to put that out there in the atmosphere. Got a couple things popping off,
Hey,
like you
Eric.
said. Yep, got a couple things popping off. Um, so let's start with the news of the day, I guess, before we jump too deep.
Mm-hmm.
Steve Nash was let go, or as I read, they parted ways.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But I guess he wasn't fired; they just parted ways,
Right.
um, with the Brooklyn Nets. And a couple names I saw as a possible replacement: Ime Udoka,
Mm-hmm.
Boston Celtics coach, who was suspended, and then I also saw Quinn Snyder
Mm-hmm.
as a possible replacement. Uh, what's my man that's doing the interim head coach, point guard from Kansas back in the
Oh
day?
yeah.
Jacques Vaughn.
Get
Jacques Vaughn
Doc
is the
Vaughn. Yeah.
interim head coach right now. So first off, just give me your thoughts on that situation up there in Brooklyn. Uh,
Yeah. I like Steve. I've always liked Steve Nash. He be
CB.
What's up, CB? He had a
Doing,
tough
fellas.
position coming in.
Yeah.
I believe.
Hmm.
Um, as far as the roster, him wanting the players he wanted. Tough situation dealing with Kyrie and um, James Harden and trying to get everybody on track. Um, I think it was a tough situation all the way around. I wish they would have gotten Mark Jackson, or I don't know, what they're going to do. The former Boston Celtics head coach, it looks like he's a front runner, but yeah, man, I wish they give Mark Jackson a chance. I really do.
I agree. I agree. I don't know what the deal is with this Mark Jackson. I know he had one other interview. I think he interviewed for a job last year, I believe, and he didn't get it, of course. But I don't know, man. It just seemed like it's something. Because I mean, he didn't do nothing that we know of that was like egregious. It wasn't like he was a bad head coach.
Mm.
Like I mean, he helped to build that squad out in Golden State. You seem like that would get the man another opportunity. I mean, to me, it would seem that way. But uh, yeah, I mean, Mark Jackson is. I mean, he's a hell of a commentator. I give him that. What you got, CB?
Hey man. From what I understand about Mark Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
I seriously doubt that he will ever coach in the NBA again.
Wow.
He is like effectively blackball.
Mhm.
I
So
mean, same
what's the
ways.
reasoning?
Well, when during his last season as the Warriors coach, he made some comments about homosexuals. I believe like getting married. Um, and I believe that um, I don't know if it was the GM, but or the owner, and they were gay.
Mhm.
And Mark did not back down because Mark is a very religious man,
Oh.
and he did not back down from his stance. He took a um, I guess what you can call a biblical position on that.
Wow.
I believe it was gay marriage. Um, and so because of those comments, I think that MA owners like, we ain't giving this guy a chance. I mean, if you think about, because I remember reading a story about it a few years back. I think it was in ESPN, the magazine,
Mm-hmm.
or it was another one, not the magazine. There's another magazine like ESPN product that they have. Oh man, I got the like the right in front of me. It's like undefeated,
Mhm.
undefeated. I believe that's the name of it.
Okay.
And I remember reading an article a few years back. And then I started thinking, you think about Rick Barry.
Mhm.
He's never had a coaching opportunity.
Mhm.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar,
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I think you had mentioned that some months ago, CB, and so far you've been proven right because every head coaching job that's come up, he has not been given a chance or opportunity. And you had mentioned that before, so I don't know, man.
he's a good coach. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
I think he's a hell of a coach. Was it the Lakers job he interviewed for?
I don't know.
I know his name came up last off season, and he
Mm-hmm,
interviewed somewhere. He was a candidate,
mm-hmm,
and then he didn't get the job.
mm-hmm,
Mhm.
I believe, matter of fact, I believe it was over the summer. He was a candidate for the Lakers job. At least it was rumored. And then of course Darvin Ham got the job.
mm-hmm.
But
You know, talking about the Laker job, I was just talking to somebody about that. I'm kind of surprised that Phil Handy didn't get the spot, and he's still there. Because when the news came out about Nash being out, you start running
Yeah.
through possible candidates. Talk about Sam
Mhm.
Cassell. He's ready for a shot.
Right, right.
Uh, yeah. So.
yeah, the only thing, it's only 32 of these jobs
Hmm.
available at one
Hmm.
time. So
Hmm.
everybody. There's a lot of people that deserve an opportunity.
Hmm.
But I mean, it's 32 spots. And I think it get a little muddy when you start getting these same guys getting job after job after, what I'm saying? And guys that haven't really proven anything far as
Mhm.
I mean, if you want to say winning the championship,
Hmm.
you got
Hmm.
guys that got winning records in the regular
Hmm. Hmm.
season,
Hmm.
but they don't
Hmm.
have like the championship pedigree. Like, and the guy that used to coach Phoenix and he coached the Knicks for a minute, he comes to mind. Um,
D'Antoni.
Dan Tony.
Hmm.
He's a guy,
Hmm.
regular season guy, but
Hmm.
no championship pedigree.
Hmm.
Um, and he's gotten a couple opportunities. And there's other guys that get
Mhm.
opportunities, chance after
Mhm.
chance.
Mhm.
Of course, being a Baltimore guy, I like to see Sam
Hmm.
Cassell get an opportunity.
Mhm.
I think Sam,
That'd be great. Yeah.
paid his dues.
Mhm.
And he gets along well with a lot of the players,
Mhm.
and the list of guys that he helped develop
Mhm.
That'd
is
be
very.
great.
He got a great resume as far as guys he helped develop and get on
Mhm.
track. So
Hmm.
Mhm.
a guy like Sam Cassell, I like to see get an opportunity.
Mhm.
Of course, I like to see Mark Jackson get another opportunity.
Mhm.
Among others.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
but
I tell you the truth, though, just piggyback on what you were saying. When you think
mhm,
about, because I was watching the Wizards game a couple of nights ago,
mhm,
and I'm thinking about, their coach, the Pelicans, Willie Green, um, even the Suns coach, so you have like this like small number of, say, even Ime,
Hmm.
when he came up and took the Celtics where he did. And I think that if
Hmm.
he does go back to the Nets, I think they're a changed team.
Yeah.
yeah, I
I
think
think
so.
just him being, because he was there before he went to the Celtics, and he's familiar with that team. And I think that if he does go back, I
Yeah,
think that there's that element of change, but I think with him being familiar, I think that'll raise their morale, so to speak.
hmm
And you don't know what that could do. I think for Nash, when Kyrie says something like, "We can coach ourselves,"
hmm
Yeah. Yeah.
hmm
That was the
and
writing on the
I,
wall.
and
Yeah.
I don't even think the first game was played. That was during or even
yeah,
before training camp.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. What's up, Tonyo Leonard Cheese? What's up, my brother?
So,
So
but you know what, man?
Let me hit his comment right quick. Nash never
Hmm.
coached the AAU, and how did he get to coach on the biggest stage? That's white privilege. It's definitely some
Well, he
privilege.
said I think Nash even spoke to that a little bit on I think when what's his name, Stephen A was pressing him on
Yeah,
the issue, and it's about relationships. He knew
yeah,
the
Yeah.
owner and
yeah.
something with and
But that's the name of the game in pro sports. It's more about who you know rather than what your resume say. Because
it's
like I
worse in
said,
football.
you got guys, but we talking about billionaires. That their circles are small, so they they taking advice from people that are in that circle. And Steve Nash, for whatever reason, I said here a couple months ago, I didn't think he was the guy for the job. When we had the show a couple months ago, when they got bumped the first round, and we had the show, and I didn't like Steve Nash hire to begin with
Mm-hmm.
because I thought it was too veteran a team for a guy that's getting his first opportunity. Steve Nash, I'm not saying he can't be a good coach. I'd have rather him got a opportunity to coach a team that's up and coming, where he got young players where he can kind of mold them
Learn.
a little bit better, and you developing them a little bit better, and he can develop his own coaching style. He don't come in with no other than he's a May,
He froze.
and then you got a guy like Kyrie who say, well, yo, I mean, Kyrie pretty much took it like they was going down the court just to hoop. Going to the gym just to hoop. Like, yo, we can do this. We don't really need a coach. You know what I'm saying? So from the beginning, I wasn't a fan of the Steve Nash move. Now he wasn't totally unsuccessful. I'm not saying that he
Mm-hmm.
wasn't a complete bust. They did win a
Mm-hmm.
couple playoff series a
Mm-hmm.
couple years ago,
Mm-hmm.
but I just felt like for the magnitude of player that he had,
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Durant, top two,
Mm-hmm.
three in the league,
Mm-hmm.
Kyrie, one of the best players in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I felt like at the time they probably would have been better off with a more veteran coach,
Yeah.
just to deal with them personalities and those egos. And that's just how I felt about that.
let's not forget that Kyrie only wanted to work part-time. So
Part time.
yeah, come on, man. You know what? Well, don't get me started on him, man.
So Gary Guthmiller, what's going on, my man?
And the thing with
WD.
Nash, and I could be wrong here, and it's not to say that he's a bad coach, but like during his time with the Nets, it's not like we come away like, damn man, he's a damn good coach though,
Right,
you
right.
know. Because I mean, if you look at my man Monty from Phoenix, I mean, you can clearly see like that the work that he's been doing with the Suns.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm,
man, he's coaching the hell out of them. You know,
mm-hmm.
same thing with Willie over there with the Pelicans, and
Willie
now
Green.
they got a McCollum.
Mm-hmm. They're a pretty good young team, man.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
And
and
you
I kind of
know,
like to see that. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like those young teams like that. Those
Mm-hmm.
say middle of the tier. You know, they're
Mm-hmm.
not like top tier, but they're fighting to get there.
Sure.
You know what I
young,
mean? And
young,
for me, it's just like it's cool, just looking to see if they make it to that next level. You know?
young team with a young coach
Mhm.
is a good recipe.
Yeah.
I think a more veteran team, you need a more veteran coach. Just because the NBA, any pro sport,
Mm-hmm.
it's about managing those egos. You know what I'm saying, and managing because the players are making more money than you as the coach.
Mhm.
So you can't come into a professional situation with a college or high school mentality
Mm-hmm.
that this is my show, I'm running the show. You got to be able to manage that. You got to be able to manage. Dealing with the star player could pay my salary. Like what I'm saying, he could pay my salary, and he probably got a fragile ego on top of it. So it's just about managing and understanding, who you're dealing with, and how you go about handling it. But Gary Guff Miller had a comment. Let me see if I could get it up. There it is. So once you get behind the TV and start picking guys apart like Mark Jackson did, these guys are sensitive to it, and remember that. Plus, like CB said, he was out of bounds with those comments. No one gonna touch that. Yep.
I I think that's the bigger issue, and that CB said is the owners not wanting to have that firestorm. Now you got to also remember
Mm-hmm.
when Mark Jackson made those comments, he was with the Warriors,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody in America knows that San Francisco is close to the Warriors facility in that area. San Francisco has a large gay population.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
They don't want to upset that apple cart. At that time, they let him go. I think that was another reason that they let him go, because we all know that the LGBTQ community is a big community now. It's just the truth.
Mhm.
And I don't think that they wanted to touch it. I don't think any other owners at this point in time want to touch it, because that's a big issue that they're going to have to deal with, which, in my opinion, I don't think a guy like him should be withheld from getting another opportunity,
Mm-mm.
especially when he's such a great commentator and such a um, educated guy in the game of basketball. Um, I really think they should give him an opportunity. But now the NBA has always, especially the last 10, 20 years, has prided themselves on being an inclusive association where they touch on these issues: Black Lives Matter, racism, anti-Semitism. What is it? With the Jewish community,
Anti-Semitic.
and anti-Semitic um remarks from anybody. They'll kind of get ahead of it. Um, I don't know. I think they should allow this man to get, an opportunity. I-
I,
It's just
I I I definitely agree with that, and I take it a step further.
Anti-Semitism.
a lot of these sports leagues, they get behind a lot of these causes, and I'm always skeptical of that because these leagues they're about money. They don't really care about the cause or not. And if the cause is going to cause them to lose money, they don't get behind it too much. They figure out a way to kind of keep everybody happy with or without it. But one thing, one thing that we do, like you said, everybody, I believe. Let me not say everybody. Let me not say everybody. Let me be real careful what I'm about to say. I think everybody at a time in different circumstances should get an opportunity to redeem themselves for whatever they've done. We've seen people do much worse than what Mark Jackson said and get an opportunity to get their job back, in whatever sport it was. One thing that we do that I don't particularly care for is we tend to throw God in a lot of stuff when it fit. We like to use the religion and God and things like that when it fit. But I never knew God the way I know God, the way I was introduced to God, and we totally off sports right now. But God is for everybody. You know what I mean? Whether you are a murderer, whether you are rape, everybody gets to go before God, right? But we got people, humans. We throw our stuff in there, and we throw our religious beliefs on other people. And we judge. We do more judging than anybody. You know what I'm saying? We take away people. We want to cancel. Cancel culture is huge. You know what I'm saying? So, in effect, those owners, and they do it in every league. We talked about Kaepernick. Why he haven't gotten another chance in football, and because of the comments that Mark Jackson made, that is assumed to be the reason why he haven't gotten another opportunity. And to coach a basketball team. Now he still get a check from the NBA. The television deal with ABC, ESPN, whatever. So he's still able to make a living. But for whatever reason, they're not willing to give this man another opportunity to redeem himself. For the comments that he made. If the comments were that damaging, he like anybody else should have an opportunity to make it right. Now don't parade that man out in front of everybody and make him. I don't like that. Go on this worldwide apology tour and this, that, and the other. I don't like how they do that. But
that's not gonna happen.
I know Mark it's not gonna happen. But what I'm saying is,
not going to apologize.
But should he not get an opportunity? Should he not get another opportunity? Is what I'm saying. Based off of, I mean, you've been in the gym. You know what I'm saying? We've been around. You've been in places, man. At work, we've been at work. All of us got jobs. We've been at work. We've been around some people that's probably said some questionable stuff. That if it was said around the right person or the person that could affect the job, could be some problems. It happens. You know what I'm saying? And we are human, man. We make mistakes. If Mark Jackson had an opportunity to go back in time, do you think he would do it different? Or
no.
Is he in his convictions? You know what I'm saying?
No.
It's who he is.
It's who he is. I agree with CB 100%.
And the thing is that he is not going to apologize. Mm-hmm. They're not even going to ask him because he is very, steadfast in his beliefs.
And he should be.
Can't blame him.
No.
Can't blame him for that. That's
I had more respect, and this is keeping on subject. I have more respect for people who stick to their guns and for whatever they believe in, because when you do the fraud shit, then all your credibility goes out the door. Mm-hmm. So if you say something and you mean and you stick to it, and all of a sudden people come down on you, and then all of a sudden you say, you know what, I apologize and I mean it, you're 100% bullshitting. Mm-hmm. Stick to your guns.
Mm-hmm.
The real people are gonna respect you for that,
Right.
for right or wrong.
So with that, you know, and I don't think he should go back and apologize. I don't think he should change. That's his opinion.
Right.
He's entitled to it. He should be able to have another opportunity, a fair opportunity. He shouldn't be just brought in for an interview just to say he was brought in for an interview. I think he should get another legitimate chance to get a job in this league because he's proven that he can do the job. He's proven that he can do the job.
Right.
You know. Shout out Big Rod. What's up, brother? Rodney Pierce in the building.
So right.
So you know, with that being said, you know, moving on to Ime Udoka name came up today as a possible replacement to Steve Nash. You know, so there was no punishment levied by the NBA. The league didn't levy any punishment. The punishment on Udoka. The punishment came from the Celtics. So, and you know, he's obviously able. If he's able to get another job, I wouldn't see the Celtics blocking him from that opportunity. Of course, there's some contract stuff that had to be worked out.
Well, no, they've already stated that they won't block him if he. That's why they open to him talking to the Nets, because if he's offered any job, the Nets are willing to let him go. I mean, the Celtics are willing to let him go.
Yeah, so
they kind of
whatever the logistics is with the contract.
Yeah,
they had to work out the buyout stuff and all that, and
some tell me that's already worked out, man.
Yeah, but because when they suspended him for the whole year, I didn't think he was ever coming back anyway.
Right.
I didn't think it was an opportunity. I thought they should have just fired him to begin with.
Right.
And they probably didn't because, you know, usually when you fire somebody, you know, there's that money issue. You know what I'm saying? There's that money issue, and that they, you know, whatever his contract is, maybe they didn't want to pay out the whole contract. I don't know what the language is in the contract, you know, to say whatever happens if you get fired. But I'm sure that has something to do with them just suspending them rather than just outright firing them. You know, there's probably contracts and logistics that way above my pay grade. But as far as him getting the opportunity, you know, I think he'd be a good fit with that team. Because, like he's familiar. He was there before, so he's very familiar with that team and what they do, what they don't do well. He's shown that he could he's a good coach. You know, you know, I don't know if a lot of people remember Celtics weren't doing well first half of last year.
That's right.
You know, they weren't doing well at all, and I think they turned it around maybe January.
Right before All-Star break.
Yeah, they went on a big run.
Yep.
And all the way to the finals, and you know, and to me, they lost in the finals. Just their inexperience got kind of caught up to them in those last couple games. But they made a great showing to me in the finals. They didn't embarrass themselves. They didn't get ran out the gym. You know, Golden State just was, you know, a more experienced, better team. But the Celtics, man, they showed, and his coaching had a lot to do with how they showed up in the finals last year. So I think for sure, if not Brooklyn, wherever his next opportunity comes, because I think he definitely did be a guy to get another opportunity in this league. What y'all guys' thoughts on Ime to the Nets?
I don't know. I mean, you know, the one thing that whoever goes in there is going to have to do is number one, now I'm gonna tell you this. I don't think, in my opinion, you're gonna have Kyrie after this year anyway. I think he's gone. Number two, you have to figure out a way to instill confidence back in Ben Simmons. Because number one, you need him because he's coming back off a back injury. He's going to be, if he gets back, all the way back, he's going to be your best defender. You have to find a way. I don't know what that entails, CB, Kenny. I don't know. They're not going to get rid of him at this point, not right now.
I feel a rebuttal coming.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what you could rebut from that. I mean, I'm saying this is strictly facts. It's the facts.
Anytime CB head go to hand, something is coming.
Yeah, I don't know. What you think, CB?
And then you're gonna ask me what I think.
The floor is yours, brother.
Yeah.
Adjust your hat. Do what you gotta do.
Yeah. The Knicks
if therapy, if therapy,
Brooklyn second, New York always.
I don't see what Ben needs is beyond the court. What the Nets can be able to do, what the coach, what anybody is beyond that. It's his head, and there's no coach that's going to be able to unlock what you think is whatever those defensive skills that you speak of that I'm still looking for.
So you think he's done? You think he's done?
Oh, he was done in the fourth quarter during the Atlantic Hawks series.
Damn.
He was toast then. He's just burnt toast now.
So why do you think that is, though? I mean,
it's a head thing. There's nothing that you can. It's just a head thing. It just happens, you know. And the only one that can be able to figure out and deal with it is him. You think about this. The brother who came out of Kansas, I believe, #1 pick, Philadelphia, Markel Fulton, I believe.
Markel Fulton.
And good player.
Mm-hmm.
Something happened and he lost his confidence, and he was never the same. He was just never the same. They shipped him off to Orlando. He played there for a couple of years, I remember, and it's a head thing, you know.
Nick
it's not a criticism. I'm just saying, you know.
Nick Anderson too.
And Ben even said that that he was dealing with a lot that the public don't have no idea about.
Well, see, that's a difference. Yeah, okay.
And he did say that, you know, and I said it more than once. But the thing is that, you know, when you look at these elite athletes, the elite athletes are able to compartmentalize. This is this, this is this, and this is this. And when he said that, my first thought was, oh wow, he's done. Because he's already branding the excuse. And that's all it's going to be right here. And anytime something happens, it's going to be him pulling a reporter to the side. Man, you don't know what I've been going through. Come on, man.
Well,
and I'm not belittling or minimizing it, but you know, for him to be able to get to the level he was at, much less getting to a higher level, there's that mental capacity that he's going to need, you know, to be able to withstand whatever it is and deal with it. Look at Brady. I mean, Brady's having a tough year right now.
Brady looked like he's 45.
No, he doesn't. See, you know what? I know we can get back to that, but no,
he just went through a divorce, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but he doesn't look 45.
No,
people see this is where
35.
No, when people this is what I don't like when people do this. They look on social media and they see the Buccaneers have lost. So then they say, "Oh man, well Brady, let's play the Ravens. He didn't hit some open targets. Understand that. But if I watched probably 5 or 6 out of their games. Brady,
Ravens or the Bucks.
The Bucks. Brady has actually played well. He really had. If you look at his stats, they're pretty damn good. What is the problem is when you do it.
His receivers. He has had
Not
some
only
injuries.
that, but even still, it's when you do, and we all know when it's time to make a play, he's always, more often than not, he's made them plays, key reception, big time throw, whatever. For some reason, when they get into these situations, they're not connecting. But if you're going 25 or 32 for 330 yards, but you're not sustaining these drives, but you're putting up good numbers, to me, that's not saying you're aging. You just ain't put a big time game together yet, where everything is connecting. If you get 4 drives, 28 points. Well, if you got 2 drives, but you got the same amount of yards, then people perceive that as, oh, we're not putting it together. His arms. That's one, Rod. I appreciate you, and I understand that, but his arm strength is not wavering at all. That dude throws the rock. Look, watch his games. His arm strength is not wavering at all. Father Time is undefeated though. But that's just my spiel.
And he knocking.
Watch his games. Watch it. Yo, it's always watch his games though.
I mean, I watched a couple games.
Yeah,
I've seen a couple of games.
He can sling that rock still.
In my opinion, it's catching him. You know what I'm saying? It's catching him. I mean, what really do he got to lose at this point? You know, his status is cemented. You know what I'm saying?
But he has something that CB said that he wished Ben Simmons had. He's wearing it on his sleeve. He's not going to go out like that.
A lot of people don't wish they had what Tom Brady had.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of people that wish they had that.
Yeah.
You know, he up there in rare air. You know what I'm saying? He's not even a good person to compare. You know what I'm saying? Tom Brady is in a rarefied air. You know what I'm saying? And truthfully, he could have walked away 5 years ago and been cemented. You know, everything he's getting now is icing on the cake. You know, whatever he's doing at this point in his career is icing on the cake. You know what I'm saying? If he's falling off, he don't really have nothing to prove to nobody else. You know what I'm saying? So a guy like Ben Simmons, who is still very young in the game, but Ben Simmons is what, 25, 26? Young man, very young man. And whatever that's going on with, because it's definitely mental. You know what I'm saying? I'm not one of these guys that go around, we call them guys as professionals bums and, you know, this, that, and the other. He clearly not a bum. You don't get to the point that you got to and then, you know, get the contract that he got and you be a bum. That's just ridiculous. That's silly talk. I just feel like you said, whatever, I think Rob said it, whatever he got going on, you know, he really needs to get whatever it is he got to do to get that fixed. And it probably not going to be coming from a coach. You know what I'm saying? It's probably because I don't think it's basketball. I don't think that it's basketball that's the issue. It's just the confidence and it's crazy. I had a high school teammate of mine told me recently, you know, that his biggest issue in high school was he didn't like playing in front of people. But the boy could ball. Like, I mean, he could ball, he could hoop. But it was just playing in front of a crowd and just was I don't know what it was inside of him. He told me this maybe 2-3 years ago. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I said, man, I would have never thought that was the issue. You know, I did because I played with him. I know that he can go. I know that he can play. But I guess it was the stage. So I'm not saying it's the stage for Ben because he played in front of 25, you know, 20,000 people every night for a couple years. It's definitely something else, you know, and maybe it's the fear of failing in front of a crowd of people, you know, because you take a guy like Shaq, you know, Shaq dominant, but his Achilles heel was free throws. But that didn't stop him. You understand? It didn't stop him from going up there to shoot free throws. He didn't freeze up. You know what I'm saying? When he had to go shoot free throws, he'd make them sometimes not, sometimes not. You know, but Ben Simmons, great talent, great talent. Number one overall pick in this league a couple years ago. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that he's able to fix whatever it is, and whatever it is he needs to do to get it fixed. I'm hopeful that he's able to get on track with that. Ben Collins, what's up, brother? Checking us out on YouTube.
Big fella, what you mentioned about Shaq.
Mm-hmm.
What I remember when he was because it was very public, what he was going through, but you also saw him trying to work through it.
Mm-hmm.
He even went and saw a psychiatrist, and he was taking tips from various folk. I think even Rick Barry said, man, he needs to do the thing underhand.
Yeah.
He was getting tips from a lot, and it was public.
Mm-hmm.
The point being that, like what you said, he kept at it. He didn't withdraw. And I think and so you see the type of player that Shaq was and became.
Mm-hmm.
To be able to, not to say, to be able to like withstand that to a certain extent, mm-hmm. and still build and enhance the rest of his game and continue to be that one Achilles heel that that he'll work on. But I think that's the difference. If the public were to get some sense that Ben, whatever it is, but like Ben is working through it.
Mm-hmm.
But when he's sitting on the bench trying to be Michiguchi, look at the shit that he got on. Come on, please.
Yeah, well, that mental thing is tough, man. Remember Chuck Knobloch from Minnesota Twins? I think he ended up with the Yankees.
Second base.
He couldn't throw the ball from second base to first base.
Oh my goodness. And the thing is that he wasn't always like that. No. Something happened, and all of a sudden he was getting the yips.
He was an all-star second baseman.
That's right.
Yeah, and then
he
ended up playing center field, didn't he?
That's right. They had to move him. That's right.
Steve Sachs was the same way with the Dodgers. Second baseman.
Mm-hmm.
Something mental, man. Whatever that is, man.
Mm-hmm.
But moving on. We finish up with this NBA stuff. I know everybody's favorite team got their first win last couple nights ago. The Los Angeles Lakers. And that
who they beat?
Who did they beat? I don't even know who they beat. I just saw the highlights.
San Jacinto Catholic Church of Northeast New Jersey.
Yeah, they got the dub.
I remember when it was like 0 for 5.
Yeah, but I
remember they was still on the donut.
I'm telling you, me personally, I don't get into NBA mood till around Christmas time. Get 20, 25 games under your belt, and I kind of start watching. But like now, this is the first week. So what, they 0-5. What happened if they run off 25? 20, 25 games. Anything can happen. It's too early. It's too early to say what they are and what they will not be. I give Ham a chance to do what he want to do. Put his stamp on the team and see what happens.
And then listen, LeBron's going to break Jabal's record this year. He going to break it.
Happen. Yeah, that's going to happen.
Oh yeah, he going to break it.
That don't count.
Yeah, that's
and he's going to break it in a Laker uniform.
What? No, they need to trade him before he does that.
I don't understand.
Need to trade him.
What does it count? I don't understand. What does it count? What does it
count? He's not a Laker.
What?
He's not a Laker.
He's wearing a Laker uniform.
Look, CB, don't start this shit.
I'm just asking.
Come on,
you're saying he's not a Laker, but he's claiming he's wearing a Laker uniform.
No, he's not. He'll never be a Laker.
But that's who. But he's under contract though. Cheese.
It's fraudulent. See, here's the thing.
Cheese. What's the thing, Cheese? I don't understand.
Here's the thing. And I knew this, and Kenny, you can throw all this pudding and chocolate cake on this whole situation. I'm gonna tell you something. They are what they are. I told y'all this last year because I told y'all this. Every summer, they show him in the gym shooting. They show Westbrook going one-on-one looking like Jordan at 85. They showing street clothes out there. He's never injured during the summertime. And how do you not play in the first few games of the season? So you got these guys, they're playing, they looking great. One thing none of them are doing, and none of them playing defense. I told y'all this was going to be the problem. They can score 110 points a game. They're going to give up 125. They don't have one defensive mindset bone in their whole body. None of them. As Jeannie busts as much as even when me and Jeannie dated. How can you not address that? How could you not address not having a defensive mindset when you got a new coach coming in? You already know you can score.
But wouldn't you blame Palinki?
Yes. Yep. Yeah.
Yep. But it's easy. It's easy to blame LeBron.
Rob Pelinka, yeah.
But Pelinka.
Yeah.
And
Palinka.
What's the other guy? There's another guy there too. Got a position. But anyway, I think he need to get some blame for the way the team was put together. You know, and he kind of sitting quietly. Nobody really talking about him. It's either LeBron put the team together or Jenny Buss, whatever. He got to take some heat too.
They're gonna go 32-50. I'm telling you right now.
Damn.
32-50.
You're gonna still break Jabal's record though.
That don't count.
I don't understand that.
That does not count.
Doesn't count.
You break that record in a Cleveland Cavalier uniform. You're not gonna get it. Well, I'm hating.
Of course.
Is it? Are you?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
I thought I was smelling something.
Yeah, he ain't gonna be no Laker. He ain't no Laker. He ain't getting no statue.
You almost as bad as I was with Cole.
But he was a Laker.
He's not getting a statue?
Who? LeBron? In Lakerland?
Yes, sir.
No, absolutely not.
He's
never.
Not?
No, never.
Why not?
Never. He will go down as maybe the 6th or 7th most popular Laker of all time, probably.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe top 10. I can name 7 or 8 Lakers that he'll never pass.
Okay.
Maybe
Magic,
10.
But he's still a Laker.
Kareem, Kobe.
I know, man.
And who else? Magic, Kareem, who else?
Magic, Kareem, Kobe, Jerry West, Elgin Baylor. Hold on, what are you talking about? That's the truth. He's not going to pass them, Kenny.
I don't hear many Laker fans talking about them guys now.
Of course they do. I forgot. You're just not a Laker guy, man.
Anyway. Let me. I'm not a Laker guy like y'all were.
You gotta know the history.
I was more of a Kobe guy.
Well,
I like the Showtime Lakers. I wasn't a big Showtime Lakers fan like y'all guys, but I respected them guys.
Here's the thing, though. This is what I do now. Anytime you call me, I adopted the Kobe method when people call me. I don't answer to the 5th ring.
Yeah, God. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, how do you feel about LeBron being a Laker, though, man?
It's horrible. I didn't like it when it first happened.
And Kobe stamped it.
Well,
and Magic.
Yeah.
I mean, He
I mean,
clearly has skills.
Magic was at his doorway at 11:59. He said,
It's horrible.
Why is it so horrible, Cheese? I'm trying to understand.
I don't know, man. I never got over it.
Because he came from another team.
It's to a point where that championship
players that
during
come
the
from other
lockout,
teams,
the championship during the lockout, it doesn't
Mhm.
count. It don't count.
that's nonsense.
Yeah,
Nonsense.
because he was on the
Are you
Lakers.
saying that should be like a like a
Asterisk?
bubble year asterisk?
Yeah.
I need some sound
Maybe I'm
effects.
hating on the. I
Oh,
I
it's
can admit it.
clear.
I'm hating.
It's crystal clear. There's a
Yeah,
lot of
Yeah,
hate going
know.
on. I need some sound effects. I need to get that
I know,
coming
right?
to America.
and
Nonsense.
you got the nerve to have Ali in the back there, man. That's just
Ali don't like him
disrespectful.
either. Ali never liked him. I never liked that guy.
Damn.
Ali would show him love.
Yeah, he would have. Yeah, he would
Ali
have.
would show him love.
No doubt.
I'm a reserve judgment with any NBA team until Christmas. Between Christmas and the All-Star break is when I kind of see what I need to see from the NBA. It's too early for me. It's football. I'm in football mode, and it's the World Series going on. You know, I rather focus on that than what the Lakers are or not.
Thanks, Big Rod.
Yeah. So let's move on. You know, the NFL had some trades over the weekend. Trade deadline was today, I believe.
There was a couple of trades today.
Couple trades today. I didn't write them down.
Forgive me. Dude from Denver went to Miami.
I did see that.
Pass rusher.
Yeah.
Chubb. Brandon Chubb.
Chubb went to the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Then
and there
wide
was
receiver Claypool.
Yes.
Claypool from the Steelers went to the Broncos, didn't he?
I don't know what team he went to, but he did get traded. I don't remember what team he went to.
Yeah, this is bad. This is bad for a sports show not to know. I didn't write the stuff down, you know.
Hey Kenny, before you, I know this. Know you asked me before the show, and that was it with Tua Tagovailoa. That was the guy. That's what I wanted to mention. And by you bringing up the Dolphins, I wanted to ask you guys what you think about him coming back, because obviously he's a difference maker with the Dolphins. What do you think about him coming back, though?
Well,
I'll tell you my opinion after I get Charles. So
yeah, because I'm not. I wish the doc was on with us. He'd definitely be good for that question. I never had a concussion. First off, at least that I know of. I've never been concussed, so I don't know what that what the effects of that is, other than what I've heard. I don't know what the right answer is to that. You know, whether he should or shouldn't have came back. You know, he shouldn't have came back as early as he did the first time. That's for sure. You know, he shouldn't have came back, especially on a short week. You know, the first time. Now maybe he probably should have took a couple weeks off at that time, because the first time he looked a little suspect, and then the second time maybe even looked worse just after he was hit. But yeah, I can't really say, because I don't want to give a medical opinion, and I've never even had a concussion, so I'll kind of fall back on that one. What you think, CB?
Well, I mean, I'm kind of like the same way. Although when I guess it was announced that he was going to suit up, I just like, ooh, that's that. You know, I was a little, I guess, skeptical about it. You know, I'm not a doctor. I'm not close to it. You know, I mean, you know, the first thing. Well, that's the first thing, but then I guess, you know, the thought was that it's almost typical that he would come back as soon as he can.
Mm-hmm.
Um, to a much lesser degree, to the same degree like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, get them back. Like we got to get you back on the field.
Yeah.
You making us money,
Yeah. Yeah.
and so it's in everyone's interest to get him, back on the field. Um, but you know, you just hope. I mean, football is a rough game, and you just hope that you don't take that hit.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. The Big Rod.
Yeah.
Big Rod. Comment there on the screen. He's a competitor, but he's put himself at risk long term. He can't protect some people from themselves. He's feeling the pressure to win, stated or unstated. And it's
and
kind
he's in
of
a contract year,
yeah, yeah,
so he's looking for the bag.
yeah. And then it's the business of sport. You know, they're not forgiving. If you well, my head hurt, and I really rather play it safe.
And then
So
there's his reputation.
we'll play it safe with this contract that you want.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think it's probably part of the business thing, kind of eating at them. I gotta look out for myself long term, and then the health factor. Of course he's gonna say he's good to go. Because again he's thinking of it. Uh, I can set myself up for the long term. Or could damage myself. I don't think he was even thinking that way. I don't think most competitors think about the negative that could happen. I think they look at it from a, and he's a young guy. I'm a young man. When we're young, we feel like we Superman anyway.
Mm-hmm.
We don't feel like we can be hurt that way. So, a couple different ways. What you got, Rob?
Uh, when initially happened, the first one, and I
Mm-hmm.
saw it, I'm like, okay, you go through the protocol, whatever, and I don't know, common sense didn't weigh in, and nowhere in the Dolphin organization, because there's nowhere after a head injury 4 days later I'm going to have him start on a Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
Um, once that happened and he got hurt again, this one was even worse. And I said at that point, and you guys probably saw it. I even tweeted it. I put on my Facebook, I think the young man should retire.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I do remember seeing that.
yeah, and because I've watched and loved sports like football and boxing, you see these kind of injuries, and all it takes is one time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I do know from boxers and everything else is after you get a second one, getting a third and fourth one is a lot easier. And it can happen
Mm-hmm.
just
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
after it happened, I said the young man should retire. And I knew that they probably had a discussion at his home with his family because they're really tight. He has a big family that, coming from, you know, actually the whole family at one time moved to Alabama when he played
I
for the
remember
Crimson
reading that.
Tide. So I know they're tight. Obviously they had a lot of conversation about it. But I looked at it like he was a family member. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't look at it as a sports fan because I try to take myself out of that because the family has to live with whatever circumstance comes about. And I thought that he should have retired. I still think. Now, when he came back last week, I couldn't watch. Much as I love football, I watch any game I can find when it comes
Excuse
on.
me.
But I said I will not watch it because I did not want it to happen 3 times in a row. Luckily, it didn't happen. You can't deny he's a difference maker for the Dolphins. But at the same time, I still don't want him to play. It's just something in me that I don't want that young man to play. And Rob made a great point. Sometimes you got to protect people from themselves. He's a young guy. He's only 24, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I understand his competitive spirit, the nature, him wanting to help his family. But man, it's tough, man. Because I don't want to see that young man. Because that hit me pretty good because I followed this kid since he was a freshman. And just like the guy at Alabama now, they do everything right. They treat everybody right. And you hate to see people go, in that state. So I can tell I hope he does great. But that's tough, man. So that was my spiel about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough position to be in, especially after the last few years with all the information coming out about the CTE and
Yeah.
the head injuries and really the danger of you know getting a concussion, and then how much time really should you spend between getting your concussion and getting back on the football field. I don't think it's an exact science to it, which is a problem. The fact that you can't even be diagnosed with it until you pass away
Yeah.
is concerning. So I mean, there's probably a lot of people that have it, and I'm talking about people that not even professional athletes.
Mhm.
You talking about people that started playing football, youth football,
Mhm.
high school, college football that suffer head injuries that may suffer from CTE, and they
Mhm.
will never know until they pass away. And
Mhm.
even when you pass away, you even got to get you got to give permission to get your brain examined. So this is something that it's tough. You know what I'm saying? It's tough, man. Just to like you say, you're looking at the young man's overall health and the sustainability from a young man's point of view. At 25, 26 years old, however he is, um, you got so much life to live. Why put yourself in danger or
Mhm.
jeopardy for the sake of a couple bucks? At the end of the
Mhm.
day, because what's the use of having all that money and you're not around to enjoy it, or you don't get the money you signed up for.
Mhm.
You sign for a big contract, you get hurt, can't play. You know.
Hey Ken, you know what? I'm gonna put this in perspective,
Mm-hmm.
and I never talked about this on when I was doing my boxing blogs, but I have the video still.
Mm-hmm.
I never showed it. You know how people I have a certain and you watch me, I had a certain amount of respect for the sport. And if I had certain videos or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of them I never shared out of respect I had for the fighter and the
Mm-hmm.
fighter's family.
Mm-hmm.
And I was at this event. I had gotten a credentials. It's like 3 years ago. So I'm front row. I'm right there with the rest of the bloggers and writers for boxing. And gentleman gets in the ring. They fight. And I think it was the third round. A guy from here, I won't even mention his name.
Mm-hmm.
He knocked the guy out. When the guy hit the ground, that's the first time I've ever seen somebody that I felt like was going to die in front of me,
Mm-hmm.
where he was not moving. Now I look to my right, Kenny and CB. I look to my right, and his family, his mother and them, are running towards the ring.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was Anna, somebody. She was crying. They ran to the ring. Now, if you guys don't know, at every boxing event, there's always an ambulance
Mhm.
right outside the ring
Mm-hmm.
with a stretcher for situations like this. They got to the ring within 10 seconds, 15 seconds. Guy didn't move. They put him on a stretcher. He has not moved at this point. Now, mind you, I had my video rolling because I wanted to talk about each fight and whatever. I never showed it. But to see that up close, that's probably why I got that feeling about Tua that I do. Because that guy, by the way, that fighter has never fought again.
Mm-hmm.
He's okay, but he's never fought again.
Mm.
So,
Yeah, that gives perspective. You know, when you see something like that up close, you know, kind of make you look at things a little differently.
Mm.
And you know, that's the old saying: experience is the best teacher.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you able to sit and watch something like that,
Mm-hmm.
and you right there, you know, and you seeing this thing play out in front of you, yeah, it will definitely give you a different perspective on it. And again, you know, it's almost like, you know, you if in the perfect world, you know, we could digest these things and dissect them and kind of make sure everybody's making the right decision. You know what I'm saying? But we know we don't live in that world, and you know, unfortunately, you know, there's gonna be some things that happen due to guys getting concussed on the football field. Probably worse than what we saw with him. You know, moving forward, because you know the one thing about football, we all sports fans, and there's some, you know, there's the entertainment value to sport. We're not gonna stop watching. You know, we're not gonna stop watching if something like that is to happen, and it could be catastrophic for somebody. We wouldn't stop watching. You know, the numbers wouldn't go down that dramatically. People will stop watching because of, you know, said person got an injury that was, you know, career or life threatening. Wouldn't stop people from watching. You know, as a matter of fact, you know, as sick as some people are, it probably would draw more people to it. You know, because they want to see that. You know, want to see that aspect of it. Um, it's definitely it's sticky, man. Especially like you say, when you see these guys are young, and you know, this is such a small part of your life. You know, these years that you're able to play professional sports. You know what I'm saying? It's such a small part of your life and what you'll go through. And I guess by us being a little more seasoned, you know, we lived a little bit longer. We know, you know, some of the foolish things we did at 25, you know, 30 years old. And now we sitting up here and as a little more seasoned. I'm not gonna say what age we are, but as a little more seasoned gentlemen, you know, we can look back at those times and be like, man, we were doing some silly stuff, you know. And so you try to impart wisdom on those coming behind us. And I you know, I feel what you're saying, Cheese. You know, and that's just how you feel. You know, if it was you, he was your son, you would advise him to never go back out there again. You know, and who am I to really to disagree with that? You know, who am I to say, nah, you wrong? You know, because he my quarterback for my team. And that's what it boiled down to. You know, people, fans are fans. They just want to see these guys on their teams, and we almost treat these guys like they're robots. You know, in a lot of ways, we treat them like they're robots, like they're not even really human beings out there. I be laughing. I laugh a lot. You know, I read a lot of blogs and, you know, read the comments. I know fans are fanatical, and they're not really compassionate, if that's a good word. So you got guys that get hurt, legitimate injuries, you know, and fans are losing their minds. Like, man, we got to get rid of this guy. You know, he can't stay healthy. This, that, or the other. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not. I'm not that fanatical about it. I believe in the, you know, the next man got to step up. If this is the team we put together for this year, whether it's football, basketball, baseball, whatever the case may be. we go to the season with this is our roster, these are our guys we're going to battle with. This is what we got to deal with. If one of your stud guys get hurt, one of your better players get hurt, your team is going to take a hit.
Right.
You build a team with the players that you brought up in mind. So when you have an injury to a let me just say a Lamar Jackson, how catastrophic is that for the team? Yeah, you got a backup that can make some plays here and there, but it's not your A1 guy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that guy. And so I see a lot of time with fans, man. Fans in general kind of look at these guys almost like I said, like robots. Guys that you can just go over to the side and tighten up some screws and throw a Band-Aid on it and get your ass back out there and let's play. It don't work like that. You know what I'm saying? It don't work like that. Then you got some guys that are injury prone, who seem to always get hurt. But you're playing football. So that's the one thing we gotta keep in mind. Football is a dangerous sport. Not just getting head injuries, but I'm talking about, man. I mean, you talking about collisions. Every play, man, you running into somebody, full speed, grown men running each other full speed. Injuries gonna happen.
You know what, Ken?
Yeah.
I saw I saw an interview a few years back with LaDainian Thompson.
Mm-hmm.
Used to be running back with the Chargers.
Yep.
And they did a profile on him. And I remember him saying, what people don't realize is that for him as a running back and him taking the hits, he's like, it's almost like coming out of a car accident every Sunday.
Yep. I've definitely heard that analogy.
Yeah.
And think about the linemen. They getting hit every play.
Right.
Running back may or may not get hit if he has the ball or not.
Right.
Quarterback may or may not get hit.
Right.
Wide receiver may or may not get, but them linemen every play.
And those are your biggest dudes.
And you talking about 300 against 300, full blast. Boom, 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 boom. That's a lot. It's a lot. And I would imagine them linemen get more concussions than we know about. Just with the beatings that they taking and the hitting that they doing, they probably getting more concussions than the average. But it's football, man. Football season. Ball. I'm a Ravens fan. I don't hide that. We talked on previous shows about Lamar getting paid, which I still believe he should get his money. Pay the man.
You don't think they should trade him?
Trade him? Hell no. They trade him. I'm turning my shit too. Pay that man. But I like the pickup they made yesterday. Getting the linebacker from the Bears. I think that was a great pickup. That's definitely.
He's supposed to be like their top tackler, right?
Yeah, but that's an area that the Ravens struggle in. Is tackle, in the linebacker, especially the inside.
What you think about Queen?
Yeah, I think he's all right. I don't think he's bad as a lot of people say. One thing about me, man. I'm a little more lenient with younger players. I don't know what the translation is from learning the NFL game versus college, and like how many years it takes for you to really get a grasp of it. I know in basketball it's about a 3 or 4 year window where you really understand the league and how the game is played at that level. Like you can have some guys come in you can have some guys come in the league and just be studs. They come in and make plays, but they still learning the league. They're able to make plays because they're, either superior athletes or just, better than the average. But once the game really slows down,
their IQ,
your IQ kick in, your IQ and your ability meet is where, so I just wonder.
That's when you're truly dangerous.
I wonder though what that transition period is for most NFL guys. Everybody's not gonna come in and be a star right away. Like take the guy in Dallas, the number 11, the linebacker for Dallas. I'm terrible with names.
Micah
Parsons. He's in his third year?
Second
year. So he's still learning really. And you see what he's doing already. So imagine him if he keep up at the pace that he's going at. By the time he get to 4 or 5 years, where he kind of has an understanding of how the league is, the pace, the speed that they got to play at, when to go, when not to go. You know what I'm saying? How to manage what he got. Man, he gonna be something, man.
But you know what, Ken? When you were saying that earlier, I was thinking that I agree. I agree with you. On the other hand, I think that you would think that it would be, say, different for each position or each skill position. But at the same time, you still got to make it happen. So like the example that you use, say looking at a quarterback,
right?
And that quarterback that comes in, look at these Kyler, Burrow, look at these new guys that's coming in, Jalen Hurts, what's my man, Justin Fields, and some have some success quicker than others. Yeah. When you look at Kyler Murray, I remember him the first year, I was like, oh man, but he hunkered down, and in the second year he improved. In the third, and we all see his development. Yeah. I just think that when it according to the different position that you have, maybe I don't want to say like a steeper hill. It's a say it's a different road, still difficult, still challenging, still get you to the same place. It's just like a different path that you have to travel.
Yeah. I mean, I use this example too. We talked about it a little earlier. Tom Brady. In his first couple of years, Tom Brady
had
a
bench, I think.
No, he sat the bench 1 year.
Okay.
But he played the next year.
Okay.
But if you go back and watch them early years with New England, they were a much better defensive team. And he didn't have to take the game in his hands as much, throwing the ball. He handed that ball off a lot, and he made a lot of simple plays. Now, if he needed to make a play, he would make a play. But he wasn't bless you. He wasn't the Tom Brady that he became after about 4 or 5 years in the league. Remember the year they went 17-0 and lost in the Super Bowl? Man, he was putting up 40, 50 points. I mean, it was ridiculous. Randy Moss. Right, but he had a better understanding of the league at that time too. And he had a better understanding of who he was. That I can make these plays. I can do this, that, and the other. It's kind of like they took the reins off him a little bit at the end. At those about 4 or 5 years in, they kind of took the leash off of him and let him roll, let him go hard. So it's a bless you.
Thank you,
my brother. But yeah, it's a learning process with a lot of younger players. I'm just a little more patient than most. I know a lot of people get irritated when the young players come in and they, they're making mistakes or they are, like the young guy Ravens got right now, the wide receiver. He's getting hurt every year. He's out right now, as a matter of fact. There's a lot of people ready to throw him in the garbage. Myself, I'm just a little more patient with him, and we'll see. We'll see. Share, what's up? What's good? What's good? So, one more thing, man, I wanted to hit on before we check out. Bateman, thank you, thank you. I'm terrible with names, man. Thanks, Big Rod. Bateman, #7.
Mm-hmm.
So the last thing I wanted to touch on today. Well, not the last thing. Got two more things I want to hit on. Uh, I was hopeful that we had our other guest on. He didn't make it, and he was personally went down to Jackson State over the weekend and got to soak in some of that homecoming atmosphere. The game day crew being on campus down there at Jackson State. Just the atmosphere down there all week. Dion was on Good Morning America one day with Michael Strahan, and I think he was doing the show. He was doing the circuit all week. But just the atmosphere and it's on display for the country to see, for the world to see. HBCUs are a viable option. And the atmosphere is different. You're not gonna get the same atmosphere you get at a University of Maryland or Georgetown or University of Alabama. Um, I think it was great. I did watch the game. I watched the game. Wasn't much of a game. They blew out Southern. Excuse me, they blew Southern out. Game wasn't much, but just the atmosphere around it. I saw the game day crew that morning. You got 70, 80,000, outside of the stadium. I think the stadium holds about 60,000. So you had the stadium full. You had the campus was lively. You had the game day crew there. They getting all this good footage. Good look for HBCUs. I think, good look for Coach Prime. We talked about Coach Prime here on the show a couple months ago and the impact that he would have. I'm just hopeful that other universities kind of look at the blueprint. You're not gonna find another Deion Sanders. So, I think he's one of one. But you got to find the right guy for your situation that you're willing to invest in and invest in his vision to build and grow the program to hopefully gain and pick up some of these top recruits. And I did talk with Doc a little bit. He got to see the young guy up close and personal. The young kid that was the #1 high school pick last year. I'm blanking on his name, but he gave him the stamp of approval. He said he's legit. He's the real deal. He should be a #1 pick when whenever he comes out. What is your guys' feeling on just what's going on down at Jackson State and for HBCUs at this point?
Well, you had a show last year, and I kind of predicted this. So it's just totally what I thought. The culture, the discipline, shining light on HBCUs. I thought all of these were going to be PowerPoints for Dion, which has come to pass. I saw him on 60 Minutes and really gave you a good look on how he has changed the culture of Jackson State with new facilities he's already taken part in, and some are going to continue to go. And the money he's filtered into the university, sponsorships he's given the university, it's just a big deal to have College Game Day come to Jackson State. And initially, when Dion was given a position, a lot of people said, including myself, that he'll bring light to HBCUs and a lot of the big time focus he'll get some more attention to HBCUs, which he's done.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the part that I hate, that I don't like. So they put up a clip, College Game Day, ESPN. I seen some black folks say, first of all, well, I mean, what does this mean? It's just the white man is coming now, you want to jump. So then I hear that perspective. Then you look, you see the white people, some say, oh, well, what has he done? He's nothing. He hasn't done anything special. So the point that I'm trying to make is, you damned if you do and you damned if you don't.
Mm-hmm.
So he's getting what people wanted, especially in the black community, bring light to HBCUs. So now when the light comes, you switch the goalposts and say, well, now that a white man, and now, I don't understand that.
Yeah,
You wanted more spotlight on HBCUs. You're getting it.
Yeah.
You can't get any bigger than College Game Day coming to your university.
Yeah.
I mean, and this is happening where, now people don't know, and I see people say, oh man, well, he ain't played on every one of his games has been on either ESPN2 or ESPN3 this year.
Yep.
Every last one of them.
Yep.
Every last one of them.
Yes, sir.
So all I'm saying is, and then, the ignorance of some whites and some blacks stating that, oh, well, the ignorant slander that some people put on things where, why do they have to bring up the black issue? Because it's never been done before.
Mm-hmm.
This is what this country has to realize, and I hate to get on my soapbox, but when people say, they get on and say, oh man, the first black astronaut or the first black teacher in this district, because it's never happened before. That's an indictment on our country.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody told you that you had to pick from half of the talent pool.
Yeah.
So when this happens, it's going to be first for the next 100 years. First black man to whatever, first black woman to do this. It's just going to happen. Give that man his respect. So that's it. That was mine.
What you got, CB?
I don't have much. I don't follow. To be honest with you, I don't follow. I don't follow college football unless for like the big games or there's some news. I did see. I did catch a little bit of that. That 60 Minutes interview with Dion. I mean, from what from what little I've seen from his like video clips and IG reels, I like when he being like in the locker room, getting in with his players.
Mm-hmm.
I just love that relationship, when you building with your players, even when you dig it in the ass, you're building with them, because it's out of love, So I have seen, clips here and there, but I'm not, I guess, familiar with the larger controversy, I guess, that Cheese was referring to with the only controversy that I was aware of with Dion is whether he was going to go to leave Jackson and go to like a big school,
Mm-hmm.
But I'm interested to hear more, or even like the next time, a little bit more, of that. That dynamic, that I guess like that tension, so to speak, with and I'm not sure. I mean, I was listening, but I was trying to understand it. I guess a College Game Day being there at the HBCU campus, and that was controversial because that I didn't particularly get.
Well, I think it just I don't know if it was controversial.
Well, maybe controversy could be
more so because it's never happened before. It's never happened before.
Okay, now I understand.
So usually college game day goes to the Alabama, the Texas,
Right.
Texas. They go
so
to
that
the
just
bigger
fuck
schools.
people's heads up. That's all.
Yeah. So the fact that it's number one is Deion Sanders. I remember when he took that job. He took the job during the pandemic when everything was shut down.
I remember.
And I remember watching the press conference.
Yeah, I remember him saying we all in it together.
It was a huge deal, man. They had the band playing as he came in like through the car like a caravan of cars.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like the president was coming into the building.
I kind of remember.
And Deion got up there, but I mean, and so the fact that Deion Sanders, with who he is, what he has accomplished as not only as a professional, but what he's accomplished after his professional career. He had a career as an analyst. He's been with CBS, been with the NFL Network. So, and you take a job like Jackson State, clearly it's not about the money. You know what I'm saying? You take a job like that, you are not concerned about the money. So the fact that he, with who he was and what his status was, to take a job like that in the first place was huge.
Got you.
That was huge. So the fact that he took the job was the big thing. And then what he's been able to do since he's been there for the last 2 years, 2.5 years or so, to put the spotlight on Jackson, Mississippi, which is, very poor town. They got a water crisis going on right now that you don't really hear about. So Deion is able to, put spotlight on a lot of things, man. And they say the economy down there is doing a lot better since he's been there, and Jackson State football is kind of taking over, that area. Now I've never been down there, so I can't even imagine, what that's like. But the fact that it's Deion Sanders in Jackson, Mississippi, and he's got the country talking about him. And he brought the biggest sports network in the country to that campus, to that area, to spotlight. Now, I guess college game day probably was there most of the week, getting footage and doing interviews and stuff like that. So, and like she said, 60 minutes interview was awesome. The interview, the situation he did with Good Morning America. I mean, so he's bringing them cameras in. He's putting that spotlight on Jackson, and of course, the big schools they see what he's doing. They see what he's building. They see what's going on, and they're going to come with their offers, and they're going to offer him a boatload of money and this, that, and the other. And Deion said he's going to listen. You know what I'm saying? And who can blame him? Who could blame him, man? When somebody coming in there and say, hey, listen, because some of them big time college coaches are making a lot of money. A lot of money. So yeah, I mean, I don't blame the man for if he take an interview, if he take a job with somebody. I mean, who am I to blame a guy for wanting to better his situation? That's his prerogative. But I'm appreciative of what he's doing, especially as a graduate of an HBCU, who knows some of the challenges that some of these schools deal with, with financing and money and all that stuff. I happened to go to Coppin State in the mid 90s when they were pretty goddamn good on the basketball court. And when they won that game, I was actually I was a student there when they won the NCAA game against South Carolina. Just what that did for the campus, winning that one game, what that did for the campus, what that did for the area, you know what I'm saying? It was just a lot of excitement. Because I didn't even think I thought they were one and done like most MEAC schools. Yeah, we'd go, we'd lose. I didn't even watch the game. I remember a buddy of mine called me and was like, yeah, they won. So I was like, damn, they won. So of course I watched the second game, and they lost that second game, but they played tough in that game. Like they didn't go out there and get blown away. And then the following year, in a preseason, they had a preseason. They based off what they did in the tournament. I remember there was a big Pepsi deal. So you start seeing Pepsi all over the campus. uh, he got a shoe deal. I forget what shoe company it was, but it was a shoe deal that they got out of that. And then they were able to get a TV game like early in the season the following year against, I believe it was against Texas on CBS. Like, a national televised game for Coppin State. And they played well in that game. So they didn't go out there and get their ass knocked, blown away like most of these smaller schools do when they play the bigger schools, man. They showed well. But I know what that did for the campus. I know what that did for the students, the population. I know what it did for the university as far as, getting them some endorsement opportunities and some opportunities to make some money where they wouldn't have. So the fact what Dion is doing is a huge, huge, huge deal, man. And I just hope that it's something that's going to catch on, and other schools begin to have that kind of success, and other sports as well. Not just football, basketball, baseball, softball, tennis. All the other schools. Track and field also. Hope they start to get the recognition that they deserve in those sports. So before we shut down, just wanted to touch on a local thing, local story here in Baltimore. This past Friday, they had the annual City versus Poly football game. I don't know, they 100 some odd years now, longest rivalry in the United States, from what I understand.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, well, City Poly always have been a big thing in Baltimore. I remember when we were young, the game used to be on Thanksgiving Day at the old Memorial Stadium. I've been to that game a few times at the Memorial Stadium. I went to one. Last time I went was maybe 6-7 years ago at M&T Stadium, the Ravens Stadium. It's always very well attended. The alumni come out from both schools, and they also turned it into like a City Poly weekend. They had a big event Saturday that was very well attended. I saw some video footage of that. And they raised money. They got a scholarship fund, I believe, that students from both schools, benefit from the scholarship. So, I mean, great event, great turnout. The game was played at Johns Hopkins on Friday. And I saw some videos, and I'm 1,000% sure Johns Hopkins don't get those kind of crowds. For football, I know for sure they don't get those kind of crowds. Maybe lacrosse, I know, and I don't know if Johns Hopkins lacrosse is as popular as it was at one time. But there was, I think I heard it was over 7,000 people that attended the game. City won the game. I don't know. I don't remember what the score was, but I know City won. And at the end of the game, it was a little skirmish between looked like two of the coaches. One, coach from City, coach from Poly, got into it a little bit. From the videos that I saw, I didn't see players fighting. I saw players really trying to pull the coaches apart. But as the rule, there's a rule, and there's a rule in I don't know if it's a city rule or statewide rule.
Statewide.
I know as a basketball coach, I know if you got a player that gets in something, they suspended for the next game. In this case, both teams were penalized, and they will not be able to participate in the upcoming state playoffs. Unfortunate for both teams. I feel really bad for those players. They worked hard, went through the summer, went through all the workouts all year to get to this point and to play for opportunity to win a state championship, and to have that opportunity taken away, basically because the adults the adults in the situation couldn't control themselves, and so now both teams are the seasons are done. Will be no playoffs for either team, and just a sad situation. And as somebody that's a coach, I coach high school basketball. I know these games, and I know these things, happen. Sometimes coaches get a little bit too involved with their emotions. Can't really can't really check the emotions of the situation. But there's just no excuse for it to go to that level. When it's about the kids, it's not about us as the adults in the situation. It's about these kids, and I'm pretty sure the adults they probably won't be able to coach at those schools again, and they probably shouldn't be able to coach kids again, at least for a period of time anyway. Um, that's just my little 2 cents on it. But what's y'all guys' thoughts if y'all heard anything about it?
I just found out before I got on. I saw a notification and I read the story in the Sun.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunate.
Yeah.
And then the story did point out that none of the players were involved. It was the adults
Yeah.
and the crowd, because it was, I believe, the city players and such, and they were on the poly side, and I think that's when the tension and the skirmish came about. But unfortunate.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. What you got, Rob?
Pretty much the same. I know I have friends from both schools, so I just wish they get it together, and you know, that's it.
Yep. Definitely unfortunate. I feel bad for them kids in the situation. They're the losers in this.
Mm-hmm.
The kids are the ones that lose out. They lose out on that opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Especially the seniors.
Seniors, especially the seniors, that they don't get you never get that second chance. To do it over. So definitely unfortunate. The good doctor just text me, man, say he fell asleep. you know, and he apologized for not jumping on, but he said he'll come back another time. And I definitely want to get some of his insight because he also played, he played college football, and
Mm-hmm.
if he played under John Harbaugh. I think he said John Harbaugh was a coach on the staff there 1 year where he was there, and the dad was the head coach for a couple maybe his first 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll get him on. He'll tell that story. We'll talk a little more. Get a little digging in a little bit about football, and I'm sure he has some opinions on concussions and head injuries and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope Doc will come on with us another time. I'm going to shoot for starting to come on every week.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try to do the Tuesdays. My schedule about to change up with this basketball season starting in a couple of weeks. So and got some other adjustments I'm making in my life. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say them live, but I'm working on some things and definitely trying to get the sports mix back. But I definitely appreciate my two brothers, man. Again, I mentioned it at the beginning. Y'all two were there from the very first show. 1 year ago last Sunday on the October 23rd was the 1 year anniversary of the sports mix. This is the original crew, so I'm thankful that y'all two brothers been riding with me. Y'all started it off, and it's I guess it's right that y'all two were the first two guests on the first show of the next year. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all just don't know, man. Y'all helped me to really jump this thing off. When I tell people how the show started, I mean, we talked about this. I know me and Rob talked about doing sports stuff for years. You know what I'm saying? Me, Rob, Charles, and a couple, and
Yo, call me Cheese. Why you bullshitting, man?
well, you got Rob up on
I
the
let
screen.
it go the whole show, CB. I've only known him since birth.
But
call me Cheese, man.
we talked about this stuff
Fucking
for years.
school and shit.
Yeah, we talked
Robert.
about this stuff for years,
Yeah.
man. And I'm telling you, man, it happened overnight. It happened overnight, man. I called him up. I said, "Yo, I got the I got the software. Why don't you help me set it up?" And first thing out of his mouth was, "Well, let's go live tonight." I'm like, "Damn!" I just wanted to set the shit up. I wasn't trying to do no show. You know what I'm saying? But hey, that was probably the push that I needed, because I probably would have sat on it another week, 2 weeks. If I just set everything up, I probably would have just kept sitting on it. But that's probably the jolt that I needed to do it, just to jump out there and do it. We got some support. We got some people that check in with us every week when we was coming on every Friday last year. We was having fun with it, laughing, joking. We talking sports, and we get a little heated sometimes, but that's what it's all about. So again,
that's only when you bring up LeBron and the Lakers, man.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a goddamn minute.
Oh shit.
Wait a goddamn minute. We have not done the Rudy Gobert segment.
He's actually on right now. They're playing Phoenix. Minnesota's playing Phoenix right now.
Yeah, I probably watched that.
CB.
I'm probably fall asleep. But
CB.
I'm gonna fall asleep too, man. It's just gonna be another 4-on-5 game.
But you know what I do, CB? I go to sleep, and I guess I revert back to as a kid when I had a transistor and used to listen to sports talk or the Oriole games late at night. So now
I have one.
Yeah, I got Sirius on my phone, Sirius satellite. So I'll listen to NBA games, the West Coast ones, while I'm going to sleep. So it's pretty cool, though. Yeah.
Only sports fans do that. Yeah. Most people wouldn't understand. Why you would go to them extremes to listen to a game while you're going to sleep. That's just a real sports fan right there.
I couldn't seem to sleep when I was watching porn. I'm just kidding, man. Just kidding.
This motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm gonna refrain from commenting on that. Trying to keep my FC. What is it? FCE.
FCC. I think.
FCC. Trying to stay in compliance with them people.
You have better luck talking about Kanye.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Whoa.
Hey, when is the next episode of your show, Rob?
Oh man. Yeah.
Have you talked about Kanye on your show?
No, but he's gonna be one of the subjects I want to bring up. Because I know Keon was chomping at the bit for that one. So yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. Well, yeah, I appreciate y'all, man.
But before you go, I wanted to tell CB I was
What's up?
On your website the other day.
Okay.
And it's a few things maybe one day you'll get a chance we can talk about. Because it's pretty cool. And because I tagged your website on the YouTube video. But it prompted me to go on there, and you got some good stuff on there, man.
I'm trying, man. Thank you.
You got some good stuff on there, man.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
We
great stuff.
We got some heavy hitters that come through the sports mix.
I tell you, I brag about CB. Oh, I brag about all y'all all the time, but it's one. I guess it's a hidden gem. If we're in a restaurant or something, which we have to do, by the way. But if we're in a restaurant, people just see, this guy's kicking it, but don't realize some of the hidden talents that sitting at the table.
Oh, for
Right.
sure.
No
And I
doubt.
think
Sure.
CB is a fabulous writer, though. But anyway, that's another story.
Oh yeah.
I appreciate it,
Yeah,
man. Thank
yeah,
you.
man.
Yeah, man. Yep.
For sure, man. Your writings, and for those that don't know, you can look at his
Mhm.
name, the Brooks Blackboard,
That's
Charles
right. The
Brooks, the
Brooks
Brooks
Blackboard.
Blackboard. If you look that up, Google it. It's Googleable.
Yeah.
Google the Brooks Blackboard and
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
check out some of his writings.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And have you done any videos yet? Have you done any videos where you're talking about
No,
some of the
I
stuff?
am. I'm working on. I'm working on that now. Just developing some ideas on what to talk about. So I'm been doing mock-ups, so
Mhm.
I'll pick like 2 or 3 topics, and I kind of like test myself and like kind of like go through it, so I'm kind of like in the gym with it right now.
Yep.
I'm in training right now,
Yeah,
doing the jump rope
Well,
and shit, doing the sit-ups and shit, you know what I'm saying,
yeah.
that I'll be ready for game time, but
I know that's
hopefully I'll
right.
be able to roll it out, if not by December, definitely by 2023.
yeah,
But lining up people, that I want to interview and talk to, I want to talk to like book authors and activists and people that
Man,
are like
that'd be
doing work
great,
and
man.
shit, man.
absolutely,
So I want to
absolutely.
talk to like black newspaper editors, and like I'm really interested in talking to like black reporters, because a lot of
Mm-hmm.
what we read, is not black press, and so just like to get like the perspective from like black reporters and the stories that they cover, you know what I mean?
Mm.
And so
Mm.
I just think that, and it's not just that, is that as a result of their different perspective, you're gonna get something different other than what you would read in a typical mainstream publication, and so and there's value to that. There's a lot of value to
Mm-hmm.
that.
Yeah,
So there are topics, and I'm listing them out. I'm outlining them, planning, because there's topics and
Mm-hmm.
issues that I want to not just want to talk about, but just bring light to. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
And so yeah, so I appreciate it,
Maybe
man. Thanks a lot,
you
man.
know what, CB. Maybe we can get
Yes, sir.
somebody from like the Los Angeles Sentinel to come on and talk, because that's
Is
one of
that
the
a newspaper?
biggest. That's one of the biggest in the country, I believe.
The Sentinel
Los
in
Angeles Sentinel is
L.A.
always, yes, it's always been the biggest. I think that's the biggest
Mhm.
black-owned newspaper in the country. And don't
You
quote me on
sure?
that, but yeah, I'm not now. Don't
Hmm.
quote me, but it's huge.
Because
Yeah.
I know the San Francisco Bayview. I know L.A.
Mm-hmm.
Progressive.
Yeah.
I think maybe I know it as the Sentinel, maybe not as the L.A. Sentinel.
Yeah. When you get a
Because
chance,
you
look it
got the
up. Yeah.
Houston, you got the
Yeah.
Pittsburgh Courier, the
Mm-hmm.
Houston Chronicle, and
Mm-hmm.
of course, you got the Final Call, and you got the
Mm-hmm.
Amsterdam News, you got the Black
Yeah.
Star News. I'm favorable to them because those are my people.
Yeah. That's all good stuff, man.
hmm hmm
yeah.
Yeah.
hmm
Well, stay tuned. And then remember, this is all recorded, so you on camera, and so I don't want to hear in February, March, you still in the gym. You know what I'm saying?
Well, hey, listen. What's good is that I got you to remind me, like, hey, Brooks, you get your ass out the gym.
Hey, I just told you.
It's time to get on the court.
Hey, cheese put my feet under the fire immediately.
Right.
So now we're
So,
gonna
so
push
now
CB.
gotta put you on there
hmm
too. We're gonna have some heat up
hmm
under you. But
And
you
sometimes
got
that's
some
needed.
shit to say. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, he does.
And
Yes,
you
he
need to
does.
be heard. So
Mm-hmm.
for sure, any support I can give you,
Yeah.
definitely lean on me. And
Mm-hmm.
if you need to come on the sports mix to springboard it, by
Yeah.
all means. You know
Oh,
what
I
I mean?
appreciate it. I
All
Yeah.
appreciate it.
good, all good. So
I tell you this, something that I've been trying to for the last maybe like maybe a month or so. I don't typically write about electoral politics.
Mhm.
You know, the battlefield between the Democrats and the Republicans. I don't typically write about that, but with the midterm coming up, and it's like a week away now. So actually, this week I'm going to be publishing work about the election because as much as I feel that I know, I feel that there's for me to start to get into that field, there's I need to know some more, and so I'm in the gym. I'm in the gym there as well, So, but it's interesting, I do want to do it, but I had to confront why I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we could talk about that another time.
Yep, and we will.
Yep, definitely.
We will. But I appreciate y'all, brothers.
A whole conversation without Obama. Damn.
No, but I think it's more important we end on what you were talking about right now. Yep.
Yeah. So
if we can't lift up our dog, then what we here for?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So thank everybody for tuning in.
Yeah, thanks everyone.
People that was in and out, all the comments, appreciate the feedback.
And listen, man, you got a lot of momentum, man. After a year doing this, man, you got some momentum behind you. You got some push behind you, man. Yeah,
just trying to capitalize on it.
YouTube,
take it to the next level.
Facebook, Messenger. You got people. You're engaging from what I see. You're interacting, man. You got some momentum, man.
Yeah, we're
doing
trying.
good.
We're trying.
Good,
we're trying.
We're
trying. We're gonna keep it pushing. We're gonna keep it going. Trying to grow it. Got a couple ideas I'm floating around.
I like what you're doing, like on Sundays with the games, as the game. The live.
Oh yeah,
messaging,
the chat.
Yeah.
Chat. Yeah, there is something, man. Just trying to bring some activity to the page. And they got these little tools on there. So I just said, try it out, see how these things work. It's cool. It hasn't been nothing real crazy on it. It's just cool. People kind of giving their opinions on the game. I tried. So I had to figure out. I'm not the type. I don't like harassing people. Because I think when I first sent it out, I sent the invitation out to everybody in the group. And I know that can be irritating because I don't like getting all these notifications all the time. You know what I'm saying? From groups that I ain't really active in and stuff like that. So I haven't sent out another one. I just kept the same link that we started, and I just changed the name every week. So you know what I'm saying? So the link is active. It's active now. The chat is active now. I just changed the name every week to whoever the Ravens playing. So next week it'll be Ravens Saints on Monday night. And then people want to talk about the game during the game. That's where I do that at. So got a couple options on the page. I want to start bringing some activity to the Facebook page. Haven't really used my YouTube. I haven't really used my Instagram and my Twitter as much. But I want to start getting a little more active in all the social medias and really try to tie it all in and bring more activity and bring more people to the sports mix. And just try to, especially do with the Facebook page. It ain't just about me posting. Anybody can post in there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to get it to that point where everybody just, if you got something you want to talk about, throw it up in the group, in the Facebook page and get some, get some back and forth going. So it's just about really building the group, building the community, the sports mix community. I got some things I want to do, like I said, with the community outside of just doing the podcast. Do some things, maybe go to some sporting events and things like that. So yeah, so we definitely trying to grow it. Got a little momentum going, like you said, from doing this a year. Got a job, got a real life job I got, so I gotta pay, get that some attention as well. But sports mix is always there, just trying to take it to the next level.
Yes, sir.
So I know I wouldn't be where I'm at today without y'all too. giving me that push and that assistance that I need. Know that I can't do it by myself, and just really trying to grow it and even grow the sports mix as a brand. So appreciate y'all brothers. All the supporters, everybody that's been watching. You want to watch it back. Watch it on the YouTube page, of course. The YouTube, the link is in the chat. If you watched on Facebook, I pinned it. And you run it back, the live back on Facebook. The stream is up on Facebook. So any questions, anything, any feedback, hit me up in my inbox. You leave me some suggestions, something y'all want to see on the sports mix. I'm all ears. I'm open to suggestions for growth and to make this thing better. So with that being said, fellas, peace out. We almost over the hump. Wednesday tomorrow. Y'all have a good day.
Yeah.
And let's see if we can do it again next week.
All right, bro.
No doubt.
Peace out.
Okay, my man. Have a good weekend. Have a good week.
Yes, sir.